For my love of music, for my love of nostalgia, I decided that I will be reviewing the Murder Inc. story, okay? And yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. I will be reviewing all parts. Let's get into it, you guys. What's good, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we are here to recap the first part of the Murder Inc. story, okay? Featuring Irv Gotti. It's centered around Irv Gotti, but then you got people like Jay-Z, Ja Rule, different people that was a part of this story. And how it started. I did not know that they were even doing a documentary up until I looked at Drink Champs and I saw an interview with Irv Gotti where he was sitting up here talking all of this trash about Ashanti. So yeah, that's why I knew about this from. But I'm glad that I tuned in. It was very interesting, very entertaining, and I loved every second of it. And I decided that I'm going to do a review about it. I don't know if anybody else is doing any reviews on this documentary, but I felt like I needed to because this is my era, this is my time. I love this music, and I just think that it wouldn't even be right if I did not do a video about this. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna start off with his background. From the looks of it, Irv came from a good family. He was born in Queens, raised in Queens. They had a small house, 10 people lived in it, 3 bedrooms, one bathroom with 10 people in it. That's a lot, but they had a lot of love, but they did not have a lot of money. And all he ever knew was, he loved music. And, he got into his first thing with music was the two turntables and a mixer. You know what I mean? Like that's what he got into as a child. Well, not as a child, but as a teenager. But, I think Irv's name is Irvin Lorenzo. That's his real name. And he got like I think he had some of his older sisters on the show and everything else. It was just crazy. So if it's Irv like Latino or is he black? Because I really could not tell, honestly. His father looks Latino, his mother looks like she could be black, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's a mixture. I mean, I really don't know, but that's what it was. So as he got older, he got on like the turntables and the mixer, and he was basically starting to DJ at different parties and stuff like that, where he by chance met Jay-Z before he was Ho Jay-Z. Okay, he met him. And I think that he produced his first record, with Jay-Z, one of his very first songs that he ever produced. And not only that, he wound up in Yonkers one time. And then he met this person named by the name of DMX. And this was all so crazy to me because I never knew that Irv Gotti knew Jay-Z and DMX from way back when, before there was Hove and Get Me Dog and all this other stuff. I did not know that the three of them knew each other from way back when. Like I never would have known that. And I thought that was very interesting, like, period. Like, I thought that was interesting. But at this point in time, when Irv met, Jay Z and DMX, he wasn't even as serious about making records. He wasn't as serious about being a musician. He wasn't as serious about being a producer. Like, this was just a hobby for him. Like, those was his boys, they could rap, they could do this, they could do that. They was into the music game and all of this other stuff, but he really wasn't in tune with the music game that hard like that. Like he did not get hard into music and really taking it seriously up until his father lost his job. His father lost his job, and at this point, he was like, "Okay, I got to take care of my family." You know what I mean? Like I got to do what my dad did. I got to do what Poppy, because that's what we call his father. I got to do what Poppy did for all of us. I got to get it together. I got to take this music shit seriously because you never know who's watching. And that's one thing that we do have to realize. We never know who's watching you, and we never know whose ears are out for you. We don't know that. We really don't know that, and that's why that's why I take my YouTube shit seriously now, because you never know who's watching. You never know. You never know who's looking at you. You never know who's listening to anything that you're saying. You never know who you're inspiring. You never know any of that. You never know. And that's why you have to be so mindful of what you do and how you do it. You got to be mindful. Don't be sorry. Be mindful, ho. You gotta be mindful. You gotta know what you're doing, okay? So after Poppy lost his job, that's when he really took it seriously. And it was a record that he did for an artist. And he pressed the record on his own. Okay, very ambitious. He cut the record on his own. And not only did he cut the record on his own, but he took the record to Funkmaster Flex. Now back then, Funkmaster Flex was the man. Now, if you could get Funkmaster Flex, DJ Funkmaster Flex to play your record, then you own something. You're on your way. You know what I mean? And I'm not to say that Funkmaster Flex is not still the man, but he's a legend at this point. So back then, he was just like shit. Like everybody wanted their record played by Funkmaster Flex back then. Like that's just the basis of the situation. So Funkmaster Flex actually spent the record. He had the record spinning. He played the record. The record was hot. Like he played the record on the radio, and Irv was just so surprised that he was able to pull that shit off. And at that point, he knew that he had a gift, which was the gift of production and the gift of getting people to really listen to real talent. So he signed with TVT Records. Okay, he signed with them, but he did not have an act. So he had somebody that he knew to come to the studio, and the person was like, "Okay, listen, I'll come to the studio, but I'll come unless you let me bring my boys with me." And those boys was an artist that went by the name of Ja Rule and somebody else, and it was this whole group called the Cash Money Clique. That was the name of the group, and this was like in 93 and 94. They was the Cash Money Clique, okay? And they had their own records, and Irv was producing the records. So Irv signed the Cash Money Clique to TVT Records or whatnot. So in the midst of, them doing that, Irv meets this dude named Preem, which I've heard him talk about Preem a lot over the years. This was his best friend. Now, apparently, Supreme was this big drug dealer. Like, he was this known drug dealer in the Queens, in New York area or whatnot. And that was the thing back then to have some talent, like have a rapper and have like this drug dealer with all this money to co-sign and all of this other stuff. So, he was rocking with Preem. Now, at this point, they had the box, and everybody knows what the box was. Like the box was basically like this music video channel where you can call and order the video and have them play it. I know because I used to watch the box and I used to call the box all the time because I would never catch BET playing Biz Ounce by Olivia. So I would always call into the box so they could play Olivia, and bitch, they would play it, baby. I used to be so like geeked up. Like back then, I used to be geeked up about a lot of these records that they would play because, radio really wasn't playing Olivia where I was at. Like, you'll only hear it on the top 40 stations around here. But on urban radio, like back then, like the only like you would hear with like Biz Sounds came out in the spring of 2001. So you'll probably hear, this is what you'll hear on the radio. Like you'll hear, but she caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. Saw me banging on the sofa. Or ain't nobody dope as me. I dress so fresh, so fresh and so clean, clean. Or so baby girl, put it on me. You hear shit like that. They wasn't playing Biz Sounds like that. They'll play it like you blink, you miss. But I had to call the box so I could see the video. So what Irv Gotti decided to do was call up the box, order the video, and they would be playing that video literally all day. And people was wondering how the hell he was getting it to be done. So then Def Jam comes into the picture. Lior, I think that's his name. And, he saw the Cash Money Clique. And, Job was like, Cash Money Clique wasn't huge or nothing like that. Like, we was pretty much a local act. So it was like, we was on TVT. We really wasn't pushing on units. So it was like, you got somebody from Def Jam that's looking at us. So when it came down to it, um, Def Jam wanted to sign Ja, but he didn't. But they didn't want to sign the other guy that was a part of the Cash Money Clique. And at this point, they still got a deal going on with TBT, so they can't really get out of it right now. So in the midst of it, they get Irv to work with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's working on the Reasonable Doubt album. And then at this point, Irv, Jay-Z gets this song called Ain't No. We all know the one with Foxy Brown. And he gets the record to Funk Master Flex. They play the record on the radio. So now, they decided to put the record on the Nutty Professor soundtrack. And then the song became bananas. Like everybody, was playing the record on the radio. And then, Irv Gotti was in the video. Like that was the beginning of Jay-Z. Like who did not know ain't no nigga like the one I got. No one can fuck you better. Sleeps around, but he gives me a lot. Keeps you in diamonds and leather. Friends, they tell me I should leave you alone. That record. Tell the freaks to find a man of their own. Like that was the record that everybody knew from Jay-Z at the very beginning. Of course he had Dead Presidents and that other shit with Babyface, but everybody knows Ain't No Nigga. Everybody knows that song. And I never knew that Irv was the one to get that song played on the radio. Like that was amazing to hear. So then after that, TVT drops Job. And then, the Def Jam executive, he wanted to sign Irv. But then Irv wants to sign DMX. He said, I will only sign with y'all if y'all let me sign DMX. They did not want to sign DMX for nothing in the world. So because of that, he decided that he was going to go somewhere else because he wanted to sign DMX. But then they decided to let him, sign DMX. So then he says that DMX gonna sell 7 million records. He gonna sell 5 million records. He gonna do all these millions of records. And everybody thought that he was crazy. But when DMX came out, he actually sold like 5, 6, 7 million records. And I used to love me some DMX back then. Like I love me some DMX. Like get at me, dog. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Whoa, whoa. It's the Rough Riders. Whoa. Like, I love DMX back then. So then there was this record called Can I Get Her? Ja Rule in the studio working on a record. And then they got this song. And Irv was like, I want to put Jay-Z on the record. So Ja still new in this game. They played the record for Jay-Z. Jay-Z is in it. And of course, Emil is on the record. So Can I Get Her was on the Rush Hour soundtrack. And not only was it on the Rush Hour soundtrack, I think it was on the In My Lifetime Volume 1. Or was it? No, Volume 2. It was one of them. Whichever one had Hard Not Lock on there. But that record went big and it kind of launched Ja Rule. So at this point, Sony offers Irv a record deal. And then Edgar, he meets Edgar. That's like this big name person. He wanted to sign, Irv got to his own thing. And then Irv got his own record deal and Murder Inc. was born. And it like I said, I'm watching this documentary and I'm like the beginning stages of this is just everything to me. Like it's just so nostalgic and just seeing all this stuff come together. So then, Jay-Z, DMX and Ja Rule, they become like this little group thing. Like they even did a record together, which I never knew they did a record to all three of them did a song together. And now Jay-Z and DMX, they're on a come up, like they're those dudes in the game right now. Like they're those dudes in hip hop right now. And it's Ja's turn to really get this thing going, okay? And that is where the episode ended. So y'all listen, if y'all have not watched the Murder Inc. story on BET, y'all need to tune in, like literally tune in. Now I know this video was a little short, but however, it was only because this is like the beginning stages. So we haven't really gotten to the meat and the potatoes yet. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into the meat and the potatoes of the situation on the next part as it continues to go on. But this was a good watch, and I really think that you guys should look at it. It comes on BET. I think it came on yesterday. So, which was Tuesday. So I think it's going to come on Tuesdays. I got my DVR set up for it. So be sure to tune in to the Murder Inc. story. This is a good documentary. I think y'all should really tune in. This is the best documentary I've seen since Surviving R. Kelly. And y'all know that I love me some Surviving R. Kelly. So I enjoyed that documentary to the fucking fullest, honey. Okay. I even did a review on it. All right. But with that being said, y'all, before we get up out of here, let me let y'all know what we got coming up. Now, Boys Night Out comes on a special night and special time, which is 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central Time. That's 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central Time. Okay. We will be coming together for a new season of Boys Night Out. Most definitely. The Fab Five is back for a Hot Boy Summer. That's me, Jamar, Josiah, T, and Maddie. We are back for Boys Night Out. Be sure to tune in. And like I said, I will be reviewing, I will be covering the Murder Inc. story on BET. I hope you guys watch and support the reviews because it is a good documentary. I think you guys should watch it. It's pretty good. So with that being said, y'all, your boys out here. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever your boy drops a video. Also, if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down in the description box down below. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, your boys out of here. And as I get up out of here, I will leave you guys with the promo from Nova Cosmetics. I'm out of here, y'all. Bye.